Well, hey, there you are, Sonia here. Welcome to Sonia's Sermonettes. I've been thinking of quite a bit. I do a lot of that, and praying. But I've been wondering how people actually make it through the day when they're so caught up and so concerned about messing up and making mistakes and having faults and failures and just getting misguided or possibly even getting off the path. How concerned would a person have to get that they felt like God was now going to reject them and turn his back on them? If I had to be concerned like that every day, I used to be, because we were taught to be, that we better keep ourselves in check, keep on guard, don't make mistakes. My goodness, get on the altar and get to praying through about it. Well, I know we can pray through about things. I'm not saying we shouldn't be praying, but I'm saying, have you ever thought about the tremendous bondage that is put on an individual to constantly be concerned about failing and falling and becoming, actually, as some have put it, a failure? Many have just turned their face away from them and say, I just reject you because you're not lining up to what should be done and to our rules and our regulations and what have you. But it is truly, to me, a bondage. And I think about people that have already gone on, passed away, and how their life sometimes was just in a shambles. Many had problems and issues, and yes, some I know failed, but you know what? Their heart was right. And you know what the Bible says about God? That he looks at the heart, that he does not look at the outward appearance. I just wonder sometimes if people really do read the whole word and really comprehend what God is really all about. You know what he's all about? He's all about forgiveness. And if all you're going to do is day in and day out be concerned about not finding that place that God has ordained for your life, and always worried about, I'm not going to be forgiven on this one, and I surely messed up on that. But I thought about people that towards the end of their life, how they actually knew that God still believed in them, regardless. A lot of people, regardless of the failures and mistakes they've made, they never lose their faith. I would say that a great majority of them that have more faith than those that just do this constant concern and worry about missing God or making mistakes. And they believed that they were saved regardless. You know what? Did you ever think about God just popping in and popping out of our lives, and how he just forfeits over the fact that we're no longer his children because certainly we've made a mistake? And it can be just the most minute mistake. It doesn't even have to be a great one. But do we actually think that God is that small-minded? Once, dear ones, we are a believer and become a believer in God and confess that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and was resurrected, and to declare it and speak it and profess it. I know people talk about this once saved, always saved, but for heaven's sakes, are we going to just lose it at every little drop of the hat, every little mistake we make? Are we just going to lose our soul every time we turn around? That's just not even kosher in my book. That's not even right. I just cannot visualize God just saying, okay, that's it. That's all for you. You're done. You messed up. Have you ever read in the Bible, in the Old Testament and all through the Bible, where they're some of the chosen ones of God? Well, the majority of them all messed up and made mistakes. And did they ever once think, I cannot go before the Lord now? I'm going to have to get myself straightened up and get my life all cleaned up before I go before Him. Do you know that's why He's there for us? Is when we do need Him, when we do need help, or as many put it, cleaned up. Do you know that's just what He specializes in? That His grace is sufficient? Did you know that God is well able to do the work in you and hasn't been denying you or I any grace? It says He giveth grace unto the lowly. Now, what is your understanding of lowly? You know, it's someone that really feels low, someone that feels less than, feels like they have just not been as right as they ought to be. His grace, oh, He giveth us grace. He said, the weak you will have with you always. Well, does that mean He's not going to care about them? That all those sons and daughters that confessed and served God, and maybe they even wandered off. You say, but Sonia, look at their lifestyle. Well, look at your own. When you look at someone else's lifestyle and you have passed judgment, you got the same judgment on you now, according to the scriptures. I've said it time and time again. Judge not, lest you be judged of that same judgment. So why in the world would you even be so concerned and meddling around and dipping around in other people's lives? So concerned about, let's see what they're doing wrong. Let's go check out and meddle around in their life. That's one of the things that really bother me the most, is a personal invasion coming into your life, trying to find out if there's something going on, something wrong, something haywire. Give people a chance to grow in God, to be faithful in God. We don't learn things overnight. I'm still learning after well over 50 years. I still need help every day of my life. I've never come to this perfect place that I hear a lot of people talk about. The perfection is God. Perfectness comes solely from God. And those dear ones that confessed and believed in God, and yet it seems as if they messed up, God welcomes them. I'm so glad we got a God of grace and a God of mercy, and that we have Jesus Christ that's forgiven us of all sin and has paid the price and the sacrifice. Be confident that God is right here working in your behalf. If anything needs to be fixed, as I've said often, do you think God can't fix it? God can fix anything. Just say, here I am, Lord. I know I need help. I know I'm low. I know I'm down. I know I need you, God, today. And just admit to God, I need your help. You know, I'm glad you stopped in, and I trust you start looking forward to more and more of growing in God and learning about God. Let us learn God together and know His ways and how forgiving God truly is. And so, until next time.